Hi everybody, this is Ingi from Tarot Wikipedia. Welcome to this Synchronicity reading. Whatever day you get this message, it's a perfect time for you to get this. For the YouTubers, you get this. If you're part of the bundle, you get all of this. And the link to the bundle is in the description bar. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, please subscribe, because sometimes I send out special tutorials just for my email subscribers, and I also sometimes share the full videos with my email subscribers as well. So make sure you guys subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to read with the Animal Magic deck. So let's get started first with the tarot card, and I'm reading with them. When I'm reading, I use the top card and the bottom card. So the bottom card is the Emperor. So this is an area where you need to take or want to have more control in your life. And the top card is the Hanged Man. So this could be that you're either doing too much or too little to achieve what it is that you want. So you're going to have a look at individualized reading as well, where you have to choose 1, 2, or 3. So that will give you more of a specific message for you. And you can pause the video. So they're saying this is an area where you are very smart, okay? Because you get the fox here, okay? And the meaning of the fox also means to work with the law of non-resistance. And that also means that it plays really well with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man works with non-resistant energy, okay? So it has to do with being a little bit more detached. And this could come up for those of you especially who feel that you're getting dragged into power plays. The Emperor here can sometimes represent power play and wanting to be detached. And for some of you, I think maybe you have already mastered it. But since it shows up today, maybe it's also a feeling of being maybe you're not as seen as what you need. Like, I feel like for some of you, you could go a bit unnoticed and feeling either depleted, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained, and needing more detachment and focusing more on your own inner needs. To observe and to observe without getting absorbed into the situation. And there's release inner feelings that kind of pulls you into an internal draining, toxic situation where you know that you're probably being manipulated, or maybe you are being, maybe it is even just the mind just playing tricks on you as well in some way. And maybe for some of you, you feel such an obligation for someone that it can make it a bit difficult for you to have the joy. And so basically what Fox then shows up in your life is to teach you about confidence and self-esteem and what you're worth and how capable you are. And to show you who you are as an individual, and that you're allowed to be an individual. And you can be detached and be involved at the same time in a way that makes life better for you. And also they're saying you're very good at detective work, spy work, problem solving, investigating. And even if that's not what you're doing for a living, or maybe it's not even related to that, incorporate more of the journalistic, investigative, problem solving a mystery element into your life, because your mind is very active, and for some of you that could be part of the problem as well. You have such an active mind that you need to use it in a positive way, and I feel like solving puzzles and clues and things like that is something that you can be very good at, I feel. And some of you are also good at acting and drama, and you have like a real dramatic flair. And the bottom card here is Undine, and it is, so you can see there is someone that needs to be seen. You can see that in the image, and this is water. This is water spirit, okay, and that means healing. It means clearing out and purifying, and it's old grief sometimes as well, and also connecting to archangels and being more intuitive. Intuitive channels will also work, start working more in a nuanced way. But most important, this card heals inner pain, okay, where you feel that you can't move forward because you could feel a bit stuck, okay, and there's just saying that you have so much to offer, okay, you have so much to offer, and they want you to use your abilities in a positive way, but also in a way that brings you joy, because I feel like a lot of it has to do with serving, and you need to know that you deserve happiness and that you don't have to always work to create happiness for others. And this is for some of you, because I feel like some of you work really hard to make other people feel comfortable and happy about themselves and all these things, but make sure that you don't go into overdrive on this, because I feel like for some of you, you are neglecting yourself in a way that could hurt you, and emotionally, it can manifest. It can start manifesting as pains in the body and things like that. So once you start knowing you are worthy and deserving, these emotions can start clearing out. Okay, so 1, 2, or 3. It's just one card in each. Okay, so for those of you who picked card 1, it's about love and relationship and feeling whole and complete. So some of you could sacrifice quite a lot in a relationship to keep the relationship happy. It is a soulmate relationship, but it's also a very intense relationship in many ways, and it can create a little bit of frustration in some of you, in the sense that where you have triggers, where you can really feel vulnerable, that could come up a lot. And for some of you who are single, this could be a past relationship that you're clearing out, making room in your life for a new relationship. And they're just saying that love yourself first, and then the soulmate relationship, will be so much easier for you to thrive in the relationship when you have mastered self-love. So I'm just gonna pull a card for you in the forest deck as well. Yeah, okay, so while I was shuffling, I get a strong sense that the partner you're gonna end up with is someone who you're very attracted to. And you can see that in these strong cards, It is a strong attraction. And the bottom card here, it says Astrild, love, fire, sensuality, fertility. And then the top card is, the top card was actually this one, the Sigil Keeper, symbols, signs, and messages. So you will know, you will get signs about the soulmate. And if you're single, you will get a strong intuitive message before you meet. Okay, if you're in a relationship, there will be a lot of signs, even in the relationship, a lot of synchronicities that are there to confirm the relationship for you in whatever way that is in the highest and best for you. Okay, for those of you who picked card 2, you get King of Pentacles. So this is about the way you live and how comfortable you allow yourself to live and how much money you think you deserve. Okay, some of you could have very little resistance with money, but because it's showing up here, this might be because you have some resistance to money. So you could have worthiness issues around money. And if it could, the money thing, because I feel like you will be very abundant, and that could create some it's like uncomfortable and feeling maybe that, and this is not for all of you, but for some of you, that money it comes with some responsibilities, that maybe you feel that you then start owing people and you should spend money on things other than maybe what you feel you should be, or maybe what you even think you should be. Like you feel obligated with money, and there's some sacrifices here with money, and if you can clear those out and have a non-resistant relationship with money, you'll be able to do so much more and better with the money, especially when it comes to investing your money. But this has to do with knowing you deserve. Okay, so, and this is being confirmed here. You get blood months, sacrifice, offerings, decisions. That means for a lot of you, pick 2. When you have money, you feel like you have to give it away. Okay, and the bottom card here, it says she who laughs, humor, perspective. So that could mean that you take things with money more like you take it very seriously, more seriously than you should, and they say have some more light-hearted and attitude when it comes to money, and understand that you can have a lot of fun and enjoyment with money, and don't feel like with money comes a lot of obligations, and then you have to kind of sacrifice yourself. Okay, this has to do with your worthiness and your self-worth. Honestly, it is really about that for you, and I feel like the relationship you have with money, when once you have non-resistance, you will be able to do a lot of good with it. And I feel like for some of you, I feel like you're almost there already. It's just that little bit of dual. It could be some dual beliefs as well. So that's something you can look into. You know, pull some cards, for it. Like, what is my biggest block or my biggest fear around money? Because with the Hanged Man, comes a lot of sacrifices, and with the Emperor here, it's like that feeling obligated, and like you can do a lot of good, and they just want you to know that there are certain people, who will work hard to separate you from your money, and they are the people to look out for, and also to have that good discernment who you trust, so that you don't end up being used. Okay, and that I feel has to do with the relationship you have with yourself, and how much you allow people to cross that boundary with you, they're saying. Okay, so group 3, 7 of Wands. So that was just as I said, boundaries. Got 7 of Wands, and that is all about boundaries. So for those of you who picked 3, you are already at an advantage position, and you've learned maybe pretty much a lot of what I said in group 2. You kind of learned a lot of that, and you're asserting your boundary. You feel like you have to do everything on your own, and it's like a bit of that lone wolf, it's easier to just be completely independent, because then you don't have to get hurt, and you learn how to be very smart, and it's hard for you to trust. And here you get cunning woman, silent and observant, and she's a fiery redhead. She's being portrayed as, you see the eyes, someone who has learned the hard way about who she can and who she cannot trust. So she became very smart, and the smartness is represented in 7 of Wands, because this person is at an advantage here and knows how to push everybody away. But that she does that with her intellect here. And at the bottom here is another redhead, that glamour. So this is like you have a lot, and people also therefore are drawn to you like a moth to a flame. You have probably a lot of resources, and resources can be more than material things as well. It is who you are as a person too. And so I feel like with 2 and 3 they're kind of the same, but I feel like with group 3 you really learn. You've been through some lessons already, and you motivate people to take certain actions, and I feel like you have strong views as well, because you have learned what happens once you don't have those boundaries in place. You don't allow yourself to be vulnerable like that again. That's what I feel, and they're saying, so this is a confirmation for you guys now that you are on the right path, I feel, for all of you. And they're just saying for 7 of Wands, you know, you are someone who, you've probably been hurt, you know, and you learned that way. And they're saying that there are certain friendships that I feel like is going to connect with you. And they're just saying, just make sure that the right people can still connect with you, and that you allow yourself to have close friends, so that you don't push everybody away. You know, there are people that you can trust. It's just discerning on who, you know. You're so strong at the moment that people probably, they just don't know how to get close to you. People who really want to be close to you, and that are trustworthy people. And I feel like for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, you could be pushing them away as well. Because with the Hanged Man, sometimes people go and they sacrifice too much. So you could be sacrificing too many friendships here. King of Pentacles, you could be sacrificing too much on the financial. And the Lover's card, you could be sacrificing too much relationship-wise. So that was my message for you guys. And I'm going to continue now here on the rest of the bundle. Bye!